Hello everyone. Hi Jagdeep, we can get started. I think,
Everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we are on the hour. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. And today we have a very interesting topic for all of you. Those who have already joined us before in our previous editions of webinars, I'm sure you would have known that we bring you interesting topics related to around SAP. So, today also we have a very important topic and a very pertinent topic for today's world. It's AI driven analytics with SAP Analytics Cloud, also known as SAC. So, with that, I would like to introduce, first of all, our speakers today. We have Rakesh Kumar, co founder and director of Trijotech, SAP Solution Architect, and in around BTP and FP&A. And he has more than 18 years of experience in the industry. And I am Jaideep Chatterjee. I am business director for Trijotech, and I have been in the industry for more than 28 years. And happy to be taking part in this webinar today for all of you. So, going forward, just a very quick uh, recap of the agenda that we will have today. We'll talk about a little bit about Trijotech, and subsequently, we'll immediately dive into overview of SAP Analytics Cloud, what it is, and what are the challenges that it aims to rectify and provide solutions. We will then reach out into the AI and ML related features of SAP SAC. We will also have a spotlight on Just Ask, which is going to be very interesting for all of you, and which will be followed by a demo, an actual demo on the system. And then we'll have a round of Q&A as per the time available. We'll see how much time we have for the Q&A. So, with that, I would quickly like to tell you a little bit about Trijotech. Of course, friends and colleagues and customers who are joining us for our uh, repeated webinars, I'm sure you know about us. But those who are joining us for the first time, Trijotech is a global business consulting organization, and it was founded in 2017. We have been around for quite some time now. We are a specialist SAP ERP solutions in business planning, legal management consolidation, data analytics, and software development company. And we have been serving our clients in US, Europe, Middle East, and APAC region for the last several years. We have a very strong footprint around IT solutions, research, and innovation. And we also partner with several large multinational companies. And some of our best examples of experience and the work that we do is around the new age SAP tools and technologies. And some of them include SAP BTP, the integration suite of SAP, SAP Analytics Cloud, the one that we are going to talk about today with all of you, DataSphere and PAPM. PAPM is something that we talked about in our last webinar. So, in case you are interested to know about that, you can always refer to the previous webinar from Trijotech, which is available on YouTube for all of you. We also do a lot of work around SAP HANA group reporting and generative AI cockpit, Copilot. So, those are some of the things about us and what we do. And with this, I would like to introduce Rakesh to take us through the subject today of SAP Analytics Planning, the tools journey. Over to you, Rakesh.
Sure. Thanks, Jagdeep. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar, and with the continued energy, we are going to take you through the SAP Analytics Cloud and how it can benefit the businesses using the leveraging the features for AI and ML. So before we deep dive into that subject, just quickly show you the timeline or the journey of the analytics and planning tools from SAP. So you come up, this is the major challenge with the businesses that they hear so many names for analytics. Let's say SAP Analytics Cloud is the cloud-based platform for your analytics. But beyond that, you hear about BIBW, you hear about BPC, you hear about so many other tools basically. So how they have evolved over the period of time. So if you see BW was there, then BW for HANA came, and then subsequently now we have DataSphere as the data warehousing solutions to bring the data from multiple systems. and we had business objects, and then we had Lumira, we had I know Webby and Crystal reports basically, from where we are doing all those analytics generation. Now all this is now happening on the SAP Analytics Cloud as the single solution for your business planning and your data analytics. We had also talked about PAPM in our previous session. So PAPM is also available in cloud now. Earlier it was an on-premise solution, and that can also help your enterprises for the performance management and the profitability analysis. Okay, so this was more like the tools journey of how the planning and data analytics tools or data warehousing tools have evolved over the years from SAP side. There are many tools like Power BI, Tableau, Trombley, but I don't think they are good match or good fit what SAC can do for the enterprises. Yeah. So talking about SAP Analytics Cloud, SAC, I would bracket them into four different areas. One is the BI or analytics piece where we can visualize the data, do build our dashboards, and we have something called stories which we utilize in building our dashboards. We also have some analytical applications we can build in SAC as well. We can put our scripting and things like that, which is also come in optimized stories basically. The best part is you have a lot of pre-delivered business content which is across industry, across modules, like for sales, for procurement, for finance. There's a pre-delivered set of standard content with interfaces, with integration available basically. The second piece, which is the planning piece, planning and budgeting piece, where SAC has a very powerful planning engine. You can build your input enabled queries for business planning. You can design your allocations for doing your cost allocations, your normal cost center based allocations, and things like that. And you can even design your large number of calculations for KPIs or MIS reporting, and even some on the fly calculations and things like that, currency translation and things like that you can achieve as part of business planning. And beyond that, you also have the collaboration between the teams. Collaboration feature is available where you can design the set of processes and who are going to be the person in a particular team. Let's say there's an oil and gas company and there's different teams which are going to perform planning activities. Some are planning the prices, some are planning the quantity, some are reviewing the P&L, some are planning the OPEX. So you can have a workflow design in SAC which can handle your full end-to-end planning process, right from data input, calculation till reporting, with proper workflows, guided workflows basically. You can also design your custom widgets, custom add-ons inside SAC, so which is a very beautiful feature because something which is not there you can create through your programs and you can embed them inside SAP SAC stories. So that is something really, I would say, amazing, which you can customize the solution to any extent that you want. And lastly, the focus area for today. So I think I will recount one conversation I had long back with one of the customers where they said, what if if we think about a dashboard and the dashboard appears, right? So so the world has moved far beyond in terms of technology in last 2 years, with ChatGPT and other LLMs have come into play. So now the business is looking for faster turnaround time for analyzing their data, analyzing the information, getting the insights, take quick decisions, because things are changing over 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. The things are changing very fast. So they cannot wait for 3 months to get report ready in production. Then they can start analyzing the data. So that will come across that how that cycle works and what can be done with the SAC features, etc. Yeah, so go ahead, please. So the four pillars, I would say, of AI/ML features in SAC. One is your smart discovery and smart insight, which is very intuitive. We'll show a demo today as well. Then we have something called Just Ask, which is your native LLM of SAP, which is inbuilt inside SAC, and that can help you to put your NLQ, your natural language queries, basically, which can be transformed into different dashboards, basically, depending on what kind of models you are dealing with. Model in SAC is like a storage area of data. It can be a live model or it can be a import or replicated data models. So once your model is ready in the system, then next step is you can do your visualizations, building your dashboards without any like a tech. You don't need to have a technical prowess to build your dashboards or your forecasting or your even apply your AIML features. So you have a contextual search. You can put your natural language query, and system can transform that into a dashboard. So we'll see that demo today. So that's a interesting piece coming up today. Then you have predictive analytics features. You can apply the algorithms of statistical algorithms. We'll talk about it as well today. And then finally, there's something new coming up in the roadmap of SAP, where Joule is going to be part of SAC. So you can put, just like ChatGPT, you can say, filter this report on cost center, filter this report on do this, or do some, some sort of activity in the analysis. Also, you can put a context, and system can do it through the LLM basically. So that's there, and plus LLM has got lot of features, not just for end user, even for consultants. It can generate the stories, it can generate the planning objects or scripts and things like that, stories, etc. So we'll discuss that in today's session as well. Okay, go ahead. Yes, Jaideep. Now we talk about the business challenges. Jaideep has been industry veteran, dealing with so many customers, with so many large scale companies like MSG Global and other companies as well. Yes, Jaideep, please go ahead. I think you're on mute, I guess, Jaideep. Your voice is, yeah, now
Right.
it's fine.
I am back. So I think, as Rakesh said some time back, that he talked with a customer, and customer said, "I wish I could have this report, and it comes automatically." So these kind of wishes from the customer have actually come from some of these pain points that have always
Right.
been with customers for a very long time, and these challenges, as we will see now, are nothing new. These have been living problems for customers in different industries. It's not just one single industry or one single company, but it's across the industries. So I think the first and the most important thing that customers face as a challenge is when teams are operating in silos. There are different departments in an organization, they generate different reports, but without any common organizational reporting strategy or a tool strategy. There are companies who have different tools in every department. So
Correct.
somebody is using tool X, somebody is using Y, somebody is using a tool Z. All of them are trying to attack the data points from different angles using different tools, making different reports, different formats. It is crazy. So and this is a truth. This is a living
Yeah.
truth in all organizations. So teams operating in silos is one very big problem. The second very important challenge that we see is when it comes to the customization challenge. These tools are sometimes have a lot of inflexibility in terms of different parameters, different ways in which you can massage the data to come out with insights. So the inflexibility of the tools is a very big issue for companies. They only give one certain type of report, they give only one certain type of analysis, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You can't really ask it to do more if you want it to. The other issue that comes up is a very high IT infra cost. Because when you are running so many different solutions, so many different softwares, obviously, when you're running them on premise, you have different infrastructure that you need to support those solutions. Your infrastructure cost goes up. And obviously, scalability becomes a challenge. You cannot scale up these solutions to any extent that you want during crunch times. So higher cost, low scalability becomes a problem when it comes to the infra cost. And another point that comes in is data democracy. Information is not available to the actual person, the right person, at the right time, at the right place. You will see people are sending emails after emails as reminders to this department, to that department, to the IT department. Everywhere they will send emails. Can you send me this report? Can you send me that data? Can you send me this chart? This is not data democracy at all. This is these are data, these are information, these are analysis which are residing in different pools and silos within the organization, resulting in very less amount of data democracy within an organization. So this is another very big challenge that is coming out for our organizations. If we go to the next slide,
Yeah.
you will see another couple of problems that our businesses face. The next one is data overload. We have too much of data, but not enough actionable insights for people. So, what do you do with that data? You have companies who have been operating in the world for close to half a century. Imagine the amount of data that these companies have. Now, if that data is not made into an actionable insight, it is of no use. And you have all this data residing in organizations without any use. So we need to make use of this data, otherwise, it becomes just a data overload. You have no use of this data. The other thing is inaccessible tools. That is, people who are actually using these reports, who are actually using these information, they are non-technical. They are not technical consultants who can go and create a report on their own. They are not programmers. So non-technical users struggle to make use of a software which can give them the desired result. So you have to have this as a burning challenge. How do we help non-technical users with the right information and actionable insights at the right time? The other thing is reporting delay. Dependence on technical teams, unless they come and give you something, it's not going to happen. And obviously, when all this comes together, the most important thing that happens for an organization is missed opportunities. Because you do not have the right information at the right place with the right person, you will have slow decision making processes. You will have ill informed decisions happening, which results in loss of strategic advantage for any organization. And that in today's world is suicidal. We cannot have this. We need to have, at every given moment of time in today's world, business changes every few months, every few weeks. So in such a case, if you do not adapt at that speed with the right information at the right time, we are going to be like living dinosaurs. So we need to have a solution which can address all these problems. And that's where, Rakesh, I think the next slides will tell us about how this SAC is going to help us doing that. And of course, if we try to summarize our challenges into what businesses need, I think we can frame it into four main pillars. We have problems around integration of the data, integration of the organization into one singular strategy. We have challenges around real-time insights, where the insights come at the right time, at the right place, to the right person. We have predictive power, which businesses need. We should be able to see the future with the amount of data which we have in the past. So predictive analysis and predictive power is again something that our organizations need. And at the last, simplicity. Democratization of data and making it simple for every user to use it on their own without dependence for experts is going to be very important. So simplicity. So integration, real-time insights, predictive power, and simplicity are the four basic pillars which all our customers are today demanding. They need this to run their businesses smoothly. And I think that's where Rakesh will talk now about SAC and how AI helps in that.
Sure. So typical, I would say the same point that Jaideep has highlighted. Typical cycle goes through like a waterfall, even agile. You have the reporting starts from requirements given by business user, then it goes to the IT team, then it goes to the again validation by the business user in the quality, and then finally IT team deploys it in the production. And then if one fine day when it goes to the production, you realize that what you have made is not suffice for our current reporting requirements, or the change in the business what we have right now, what we had like 3 months back or 6 months back, then again it goes back to the IT team as a new set of requirements and change management and new set of dashboard to be developed. So that's like a continuous cycle we have. So how we can break this cycle, how we can take it to the next level where the can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So how we can go to the next level? So basically we remove or I would say completely have that reporting in the hands of business. The basic, let's say, business user has given the requirements, the IT has set up the data models, data flows, and the data is now available in form of the structured way, harmonized way in the SAC environment, whether it is live model or import data model. And then we have the limited basic dashboard, so that we should have on demand analytics rather than eating too much in the beginning which you cannot digest, right? So you should have the data available in the right way, in the harmonized way, so that the day you want it you can analyze it, rather than building all set of dashboard at once and then realizing that it's a rework, that requirement is not suiting us. Today we need something else. The teams also change, the organization also change, hierarchy changes. So a lot of things change comes into play. So if you go with a limited set of basic dashboards by the technical team, and then it is available for the business to decide what reports they want. They want for procurement, sales, finance. Once the models are there, they can build all their dashboard directly there, basically. Yeah, go ahead. So the some of the features we talked about for the SAP Analytics Cloud AI and ML features, one of the prominent one is smart discovery. Now, smart discovery is a powerful machine learning feature available in SAC. You don't need to build anything in SAC. It's out of the box, available at the button click. So I'll show you how the button click happens in today's demo as well. And what it does, it gives you the trends, correlations, basically, and then classification also, and then provides you the time series forecast as well on your data set. So how you're analyzing your data, that matters. You define the what are the key influencers for your data. It can go through the whole data set and analyze, let's say, revenue or gross profit, how it gets impacted by the other measures or other like cost or other measures, basically. So this is just an example I'm talking about, but it can be solving any of your business problem. The good part is the dashboard is created by the system, and it applies the algorithms like regression, like classification, like time series automatically. So you don't need to be a PhD in data science to really build your dashboard. That's the beauty of it, right? It's not like it's the power in the hands of the end user and the business user. They don't need to know the pandas of the Python and God knows how many algorithms are there for the data science. You just need to know the basics, how and what you want to build, what you want to analyze, and then system will generate that automatically applying the statistical AIML algorithms. Okay, go ahead. So this is the screen, how it looks like, the smart discovery. We'll show it in the system as well. So it's an automatic visualization. That means the visualization is not created by you, but system will generate it automatically. It has got simulation or what if simulation feature, basically. So you can, let's say, impact of gross profit by revenue, by COGS, or whatever variables that I want to analyze. So I have a target variable, which is gross profit. And then what are the other influencers doing on that, how they're impacting the gross profit with respect to other variables. So we can do the simulation on that. And then we can identify key influencers. Again, it depends on data, that what is the greatest impact coming from different variables, basically, which for our target output, basically. And then there is a predictive insights or smart insights we talked about. We'll see the system will analyze your data and generate a textual output, that whether the variance is high, which are the key contributors, and things like that as part of this coming from the smart insights. Go ahead. And this is the auto-generated, like you can see the green color message in the bottom, that once you have provided the inputs and you say generate, it will generate the dashboard. Okay, we'll see this in the action as well. Go ahead. Now the other part is, I would say it's compared to smart discovery, this needs a bit of understanding, but I would say you have three algorithms for predictive forecasting, which is classification, regression, and time series forecasting. And classification is something like you segment your customer who is going to buy your product, right? Or you can have churn coming for the customer, which customer segment you see the churn or customer exodus. And then regression, I see the output of one variable with respect to second variable, how they are like impacting the target variable. And then time series typically for your weather forecasting, for your financial forecasting, economic forecasting. You can see the historical data, and you can do the train the data model basically with the historical data, and then it will basically predict the future forecast for you, and you can define the horizon of time for which you want to generate the forecasting. So these are the three main algorithms which a predictive scenario is having. However, Smart Discovery automatically uses this algorithm. So if you don't know this, that's great. You can still use Smart Discovery and just ask. Okay, go ahead. So Smart Insight, the other feature I was talking about. So it is basically a feature inside SAC which automatically studies your data. It goes through your data set, does the analysis, and finds the top contributors who are, let's say, my revenue is which are the product segments which are maximum contributing to the revenue. That can be something. Then let's say revenue between two different years or two different quarters, quarter on quarter or year on year, how it is variance is coming, and what is the percentage of variance. So that kind of analysis you can perform through Smart Insight, and it's a inbuilt feature. So you are not building a program, writing a logic to make it enable. It's auto built in the system. So you don't really have to know the algorithms or as I said, PhD in data science to really analyze that data basically. Okay, go ahead. And then lastly, the third feature is Just Ask, basically, which is conversational AI feature in SSC, which is the focus area for today's webinar. In this, I can put a NLQ, which is natural language query. I can say, give me the gross profit by calendar month, or analysis on the gross profit and the COGS by months in a time series way, or in a bar chart or in pie chart or things like that. So you can put your query and it can generate that dashboard or visualization, and it can also propose some visualization from its side, like some queries, additional queries it can propose, which you can click and open those dashboards. So you don't need to create them, you just need to put your query. System is going to take care of generation of the dashboards, and it's instant. Of course, it will not take like an hour or something, or it's a fraction of seconds, and you see your dashboard. And you can again put a new query, and you can again see a new output basically. Yeah, go ahead. Now, as Jaideep was pointing out, that it empowers the non-technical users to explore the data. That means they don't need to know the machine learning algorithms, or they don't need to be knowing the statistical algorithms. Basically, it helps you for the instant decision making. So you want to know the information. For that, you don't need to write an email. You don't need to wait for somebody to provide you the output. You can quickly put your query in the Just Ask, and it can generate the dashboards basically. Okay, it also reduces the IT workload. So focus of consultant should be on building the basic data models, basic dashboards, and integration, setting up the integration, harmonizing the data, and getting it ready for the business. And then the business user will be empowered to kind of start building their own set of visualization, own set of insights, own set of dashboard based on natural language query, which is the basically the business advantage to that. Yeah, go ahead. So this is just an example of Just Ask query we have. So here, if you can see on the screen, we have sales data as my model, where we have put some sales data. We have the query written by the user, gross profit and the cost analysis by Kalman, and generate in the time series way. And you can see on the drop down the other variables or other dimensions are available, which can also be analyzed. So you don't need to always type, you can click on them and search with them. So time series is created for the gross profit versus the cost or COGS. And you can see there's a pattern there that when the cost increases, the impact is there on the gross profit as well, but they are correlated sort of, that higher the cost, obviously the profit goes down. So, and then if the cost goes down, the impact has there. Go ahead. Then there is another query we have written. where gross profit margin by product segment. This is from another info provider we have. So you can see here segment aerospace, then you have building construction, packaging. These are our different segments, and how is the gross profit in different segments are there. And again, we can change the visualization from the bar chart to pie chart to the other visualizations as well, right? It is not that whatever output has come can be further changed, right? And we can copy these and put it in a story, and it will be available for future uses. Not like just now we want to use it for future purposes, you can do that as well. Okay, go ahead. Okay, this is another example where I have another sample model from where I am putting the natural language query, the expense per brand. So it's showing me the expenses, how in different brands we are incurring the expenses. But not only that, on the right hand side, if you see there are some more queries are suggested by the system, which you can put it like expense per country, expense per date, which is your cal month or something, then expense by product category, expense per state, expense per store. So depending on what set of data is there, it is also giving you a related question. So you don't need to always type everything. You can one query that you have put in similar to that. What are the queries are possible? It can generate according to your data set. Okay, go ahead. All right, so we go to the demo now. Just a second. So I will present. I hope my screen is visible to you guys. Jaydeep, I guess it's visible to
Yes,
you as
it's
well.
visible. Yes, it's
Okay.
visible.
So this is the SAP Analytics Cloud we have been talking in today's webinar. Now SAC, I think those who know already, it's a very intuitive, powerful tool for your analytics and planning. And what are the options? We'll quickly list them down. So we can build our dashboards using the stories. We can build analytical applications where we can even write our own set of scripts and code to make a full-fledged app sort of. We have data analyzer, we have digital boardroom to combine the dashboards in a specific pattern for the top management. And then we have some additional features like connectivity, like I can connect the system with different environment like SAP and non-SAP. If I give an example, if I say I want to connect with live systems of SAP, like I can connect with SAP BPC, BW, DataSphere, SAP HANA, and S4 HANA, and things like that. And I can connect even with the non-SAP systems from the acquire data or replicate data option using with the OData services, and then Qualtrics, then SQL, and then a lot of other sources are there which are depending on the requirement we can have them. Okay. All right. So now, coming back to the smart discovery I was talking about. So, as I told you, there's something called stories where we build the dashboards. Now, let's see the smart discovery in action. Okay. So, I have already chosen a model on which I'm going to build the smart discovery. Okay. So, in the smart discovery, I am in the smart discovery screen. It is asking me to select a data set or the data model. I'll go. I have a sales data model I have specifically picked up for today's session. So now my model is loaded. What it says that you set your topic, what you want to analyze, what is your target. That means a dimension or a measure. We are going to take a measure today. So gross profit. You can also do the analysis on your dimension. Okay. Then you have something called entity, like on what basically dimensions you want to analyze the data. So you will select the dimension there, and then we'll run the smart discovery, which will generate our dashboard. So let's select the measure here. I'm going to analyze the gross profit, and in the entity, I'm going to analyze on the region and category, region, and then the market also. So 1 second. So I have taken the three dimensions: category, region, and market for our generating our smart discovery and automated dashboards. Let's review it. So to see that what it is going to do. So smart discovery will analyze your data using machine learning and then creates your story page where you can explore the trends and patterns in your data. So system is going to analyze your data and generates the trends and patterns. And depending on what is your data selection, we'll also create other story pages, highlight the measures and dimension that significantly influence. That means if I have a target gross profit, what are the other measures which are impacting your gross profit? Okay, let's run it and see in action. Okay, it's a nice screen if you see. So it's showing uh, that it's running now. Let's see what it does. So to say our visualization is generated and it's still generating the forecast. Okay. Now to just to highlight here, I have the gross profit for category, region, and market. Okay, and it is showing me the minimum value, the maximum value, and the distribution of it. Okay, and then I analyze. It's also analyzing the gross profit by category, region, and market, and it's highlighting. This is the smart insight I was talking about. It's highlighting that the office supplies for Western Europe has the highest gross profit, and the total for Q4 versus Q3 there is a 26% increase, which is significant. That's why it has highlighted. Okay, which we talked about this smart insight. It analyzes your variance. It analyzes your contributor to the smart insight. So let's just see the smart insight here. Yeah, so we can see here that gross profit changes by different I mean in the for the actuals, basically how it is changing quarter across quarter. If I want to analyze it on year, I can select year. It can show me how it is changing year on year, and we can also see it on the month level. So we have those trends which you can analyze from here. And what are the top contributors? So Vienna is the top city contributor, which is top 10 values are coming from there, 27%. And then these are the top product. Roger Locker's Industrial is the product ID, which is the main contributor. So around 18% is coming from there. Which are the customers who are your main customers? So you can see 9% customers are Eugene, Barcas. Then France is the top country. And then we have the classification. So ship mode contributor is 157% and above the average. So it has fully dug through your data set, and it has done the analysis, and it has generated the visualization, and that is all happening on the fly. So it's not really, we have not written a query, we have not written statement, SQL, or anything like that, and system has generated the visualization. Okay. So this was about the smart insight. I'll try to do the smart discovery on another data set as well. Just a moment. So again, I'm selecting the same model. I think we will. Jadip, it is visible to you, right? You are able to see the screen.
Yes, yes, this is perfectly visible. I can see the lovely machine working,
Okay.
crunching data, producing actionable insights.
So now it is generating the visualization or dashboards where I see the overview page, I see the key influencers and simulation. So we saw that gross profit total and then the minimum, maximum, and total number, and then distribution of it basically. And then there is a section called forecast. So it is nothing but time series forecast. And you can even see what is the horizon of forecast. It has been taken the, let's say, 9 period. If I wanted to do it for 12 periods, I can make it 12, and it can generate the forecast accordingly for 12 periods. If I want to generate it for any 5 periods and things like that, we can do that. So this is like we have not created anything, as you saw, as you have seen. This is totally done, generated by the system. And even the smart insight which it has generated is based on the current data. Tomorrow, if this data changes, then automatically this visualization and the insight will change. So it's auto-generated at the runtime. We are not hard coding it anywhere. It will see the data where the variance is happening. It will automatically analyze and give that to you. Okay. So this was about the overview, and then we have some more variables here. I'll just close it. So we have some more variables here, which is related in the key influencers section. Let's go there. So we can see that gross profit, which are the maximum influence happening from which measure. So gross sales is something which is maximum affecting it, which is very clear. And then correlations are there with the shipping cost or from the price or from the quantities or cost per unit, things like that. And then with the others, it's the influence is weaker, so that's why it is written moderate and weak, and depends on the data set what you put in. Accordingly, it will interpret the data and generate the key influences. Now we can also dig deeper and we can select the different measures and see how it is impacting, and overall trend we can see from it. If I change it cost per unit, how is the impact in the, just I see the discounts, is there an impact due to discount? So like that we can have the analysis there. And then the third part, which I was talking about, simulation. So simulation is something how the different variables impacting the gross profit, and if we change them, what is the impact. So if I increase the cost, let's say cost per unit is there, if I increase this cost per unit, and then if I see there's the what is the delta change here. So if I change it and say simulate, and you can see the impact is there. Similarly, I have impact due to the, let's say, price or due to the quantity. What is the impact? So that impact will be visible to you. Okay. This is the simulation part, but again, it will also depend on the data set, how it can be basically achieved. All right. So we will now jump to another area, which is your predictive features we are talking about. So you can click on this more symbol, and from there we have predictive scenarios. Will not be doing much there because it's a bit technical. So some of the business users, if they know what they want, classification, regression, time series forecasting, they can utilize. But otherwise, I think the smart discovery is quite sturdy solution for you to run your analysis. But if you are interested, you can go there in the time series forecasting or classification or regression and do that analysis. Basically, you'll have to create the predictive scenario, and then you have to train your model and perform the predictive reporting or the dashboard you have to generate. Okay. The apart from this, the interesting area for today's session, which is your just ask. We are talking about just ask. So let's go back to just ask now. Let's ask SAC, our questions, and just a moment, I'll enable so what is just ask basically, right? It's a artificial intelligence feature. Okay. It gives you the option to put your natural language query, NLQ, and then it allows you to efficiently search on your data set. Okay, you can ask your question in English, and it is also now available in German and other languages as well. So the language is not a barrier here. You can enable multiple languages as well in Just Ask. Earlier we had search to insight, but now we go only for Just Ask, and we need to have a model which is going to be the source for the Just Ask. We will be using two models today in today's session, and we can put up the natural language queries in Just Ask, like sales by region, sales for 2023, sales for this quarter, and top three products by gross margin. So all this is, simple queries that in the business language that we are putting in, and it will generate the output. Okay, so let's go in the system now, and just let's select our model for today's analysis. So the just now we had seen one of the models on which we are doing the analysis, that sales data model. I think that's on which we are doing the smart discovery. So in the sales data, if I want to analyze the gross profit, so I can type here gross profit. System is prompting that, and then I want to have a time series analysis on gross profit and cost by cal month, by cal month and cal month, and in time series chart I want to analyze it. Let's just put this and let's search for it, what it does. So this is the visualization system has generated. We have not written a query. We have not built a dashboard. All we did was we went to Just Ask, put our query, and system has generated the visualization. Okay. I can change this query to have gross profit analysis by cal month. I can put gross profit by cal month, and I can put more dimensions, but let's just analyze gross profit by cal month. Right. So I see a trend of how the gross profit is changing. I can see by any other measure as well, and I have the option to change it into tabular way or in the graphical way. We can see the analysis by how it is changing across the cal months and things like that. Now you also have option to further configure it with the what kind of charts you want, what kind of visualization you want to see. So I click on the chart setting again, and I can see right now it is time series. If I want to change it to some other chart, I have option to change it to pie chart or bar chart or other, depending on the data set as well and the query that you are having. This will be limited charts will be available. Okay. So let's change the query a bit. We'll do it on the another data model, which is sales sample. So this sales sample model that we have, we put some query there. So sales sample is not having this particular uh, measure. So I have to put expense per brand. Okay. So I put the expense per brand, and then I just do a search what it does. So Eureka, you have the you have it here, right? So you did not put any creation of any dashboard or algorithms and things like that. It's generating automatically, and not only doing that, it is also giving you related to your natural language question that you have put in. So also suggesting that do you want to also analyze expense per country? Do you also want to analyze your expense per product category? So it's all on the fingertips. Once you have put a query, an interesting thing, one of the customer I was showing it, they said it is created with AI, verify results before use. But typically, yeah, it's perfectly fine in terms of the data and output. Yes, it is created by AI, of course, and we have to be clear on what is the business question we want to ask. Okay, and accordingly, it can generate the dashboards. Okay. So this was about the just ask, and we can save our queries as well for future. So if I want to save this question, I can click on save question. So next time whenever I open this model, I'll see it as this question as saved. So you don't need to again think of what I asked last time. And once you are happy with this visualization, you have option to copy this, and you can put it on a story basically. So if I go to a story, I can add this visualization. Okay. So this was about the feature in the Just Ask. As I said, as a analytics tool, SAP Analytics Cloud is having all the great features of AI. And in future, we are also going to have Joule. So we'll quickly see some more information on how Joule can help, or how Joule will interact with Just Ask to even ask your questions on your behalf, even if you put it in a more complex queries or things like that. So I'll just stop sharing. Just a moment. Yes, so as I said, there are some innovations SAP is also planning in 2025, which is going to be more transforming the way we do analytics. So Joule is something is in the beta version. It is available. We have gone through many workshops about Joule with SAC. We have seen all the functionalities, but yeah, for the common end user, it is going to be rolled out as well. But this particular offering helps you to do the search with, again, very complex natural language query. You can put a, let's say you are running a dashboard and you want to do filtering on a particular country or region. You don't know how to do that. You just put a query, Joule, just do this for me, and it can actually do the filtering in a dashboard or in a story, and it can quickly change the visualizations if you want. So instead of you going and doing it, Joule can do that for you. So Joule will be integrated with SAC, and it will be also calling your Just Ask feature behind the hood to run all those visualization and all those dashboards. Okay. So Joule can be very helpful for the end user or business users who don't need to know the technicality of how the statistical algorithms work, or how the features of data science work. They can simply put the natural language query or contextual search, and it can generate the dashboard. The other thing about Joule would be that for the, I mean, I'm saying would be because I have seen across the workshops with SAP, but for the end user or from the system perspective, it's once it is available, it will be the front end for the business, like a brain which understands your queries and transfer in the right perspective to Just Ask, and Just Ask will generate the visualizations and dashboard and stories and charts and every calculations to you. Not only that, it can also help the consultants to build their stories if they want to build. It can even generate some code, which is for the front end if you want to write some validations, write some scripting to run a particular event. So those things are also possible through Joule. So it will be embedded with your SAC, and you can put up your commands or questions, and it can create those scripts for you. Okay, go to the next one. So as a functionality, it has got four main areas. You can do it for your analytics, of course. You can ask your questions, and it can run through the Just Ask what are your top products, sales variance and things like that. And the functional aspect, like filter the content on the finance department. So that is another aspect it will be going to cover. And it can also generate the forecast and things like that. So you know that it's like having its own intelligence or brain to decipher your queries, which may be more complex, which typically maybe even Just Ask cannot analyze. It can even analyze those queries and transfer to Just Ask and generate the visualization. So you don't need to know anything in SAC. You just need to be familiar with the UI, and then you can. It's very intuitive to directly create the dashboard for you. Okay. And then of course the scripting and other pieces for the consultants also it will be available. So that's also decreases the time frame for which you want to develop the dashboards and things like that. Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, over to you, Jaydeep, now to summarize, I think, for today's
Right.
session.
So I
learnings.
think, thank you very much, Rakesh. That was really inspiring, and a lot of informative information was given. Thank you very much. And I think, just to summarize the last couple of minutes, so the AI features in SSE, it's powered by machine learning and statistical analysis. Those are the AI features that are there. Just Ask is a tool by which you can ask analytical questions in any natural language and get answers. And these answers are in the form of either charts, tables, and in different formats, time series, so on and so forth. So different ways in which you can get your answers. Joule, that will be in SAP Analytics Cloud, SAC, will be able to deliver in context AI with Joule in SAP Analytics Cloud. So there will be a lot of contextual help that you can get through Joule, and it will also be able to help the Just Ask with more natural language processing. So that will be able to answer natural language questions and analytically analyze them and give us answers like we saw today in our presentation. So thank you, Rakesh. That was really lovely. And I think we are just on the hour right now. And we'll have some time to ask questions if need be. I see that there is one person, Vikash,
Yes,
who
yes,
has
we
asked
can.
a question. Vikas, if you would like to ask a question and type it over here, we'd be happy to answer it. Anybody else also can type in their questions, queries. And while the questions are coming in, we would just like to go to the last slide where you can see our
Yeah,
coordinates.
coordinates. Yeah.
Uh, we have our QR code there. You can scan us for contacting us, email, number, website. Please do visit us. We'll be happy to answer any question regarding this topic or any other topic also around SAP. So we are there to help you.
In general, you can send your queries as well. We'll be happy to address them, okay, in future as well. And I guess we are mostly on the time. So if there are no queries right now, we'll go ahead and no, say thank you to you. Yeah, we'll be available for resolving any of your queries. You can write to us. Yeah, I think there is one question.
Yeah, there's a question coming in.
Yes, so right now the Just Ask does not require any SAP AI services credit for you. So it is out of the box feature available. I think Vikash has asked this question. So it's out of the box available. Only thing you have to switch from the old contextual search option, search to insight, to Just Ask. I can even show you that. One second. So administration.
We have another question right now from Gagan.
Yeah. So, Gagan, I think you have asked about how was SAC accessing data. So, SAC can access data from S4HANA as well as DataSphere, both. So, if DataSphere is there, then it will be live connection on DataSphere, and DataSphere could replicate the data from S4HANA, or it can also have a live model to access the data. So, both are possible. DataSphere will be mostly used if you have a data warehousing requirement where you have the heterogeneous landscape where you are accessing data from multiple sources. Then DataSphere will be there behind SAC, and it will be direct connection between the DataSphere and SAC. You don't need to do much there. It will be direct connection. It will access all the data sets or models of DataSphere and do the reporting. For the S4, we have the CDS views, which can be consumed by SAC in live connection, and we can directly do the reporting on top of it. But for the complex scenarios where data warehousing requirement comes, we can use the option of connecting through DataSphere. No, this is
Manuel
Just
has a
Ask
question.
feature is not built by us. Just Ask feature is from SAP. It is directly out of the box solution from SAP, and it can be enabled inside your administration console, basically, from where you can enable the feature, and then it can directly allow you to do the contextual search, basically. So it can be enabled even on your systems. If you have SAC, you can go to the administration section and do the enabling of that, basically.
Sanjeev has a question. What AI models are being currently used?
Just a second, I'll just share my screen so that I can show that feature to them. So if you want to enable the just ask, just you have to go to this administration screen. You can see the system administration, and under the administration you have the old feature, which is search to insight, is deprecated now. You can enable the just ask, and then you can utilize everything that we shown in today's webinar. You can also leverage the same. Yeah. Yes, just ask can look for answer to question like what are the total sales in October 2024. Yes, you can do that. It is possible. Yeah, in the behind the scenes, it will be generating the queries using generative AI. So just ask is a native LLM of SAP. SAP acquired a company which was having this LLM, and they plugged in this LLM in SAP Analytics Cloud. So that is what it is using behind the scenes, basically. So the just ask feature is a native LLM of SAP which is running behind the scenes, basically. Yes, just ask will also work for planning. That is correct, Gagan. That is very much possible. What AI? Yeah. So as I said, just ask is their native LLM model, which is not the what we have in Chat GPT and all. It's a native LLM. I think one of the concerns of businesses are that uh, LLMs are open. So you want to control the data set. That way we are secure. That just ask is their SAP's native LLM. So data is restricted. It will not going out of your environment, and nobody else will be having access to that. So that's answers your question. Yeah, so we wanted to showcase today the features of the AI which are available as part of the SAP Analytics Cloud. And of course, we have lot of stories and all we will be covering in subsequent webinars as well. So like that, we have built our own set of dashboards and LLM. I mean, the scenarios where we consume the LLMs. But as a company, we have our own set of dashboards which we have created for various customers and KPIs, and we of course help the user to enable them to access the features, basically. Yeah, so I would say KPIs typically would be limited. I don't think you can write a complex formula there, but basic the model should have those KPIs. Then only you can do the search, basically. But with the Joule feature, which is going to be enabled in 2025, these things should be also available with us. All right, so that with that, if there are other questions, we'll. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. We are very happy that you have joined the session, and we'll be connecting with you in more such sessions. We'll be sharing our learnings as Trizotech, and we'll be very happy to answer your additional questions if you have in the subsequent webinars or sessions that we'll be having. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening.